welcome to the stream, all of one people who are here. Um, I'm very excited to kick this off today. Don't really have anything set in mind for an intro. I have a couple points I want to get out of the way, and I will be posting this. This may be like the little channel underneath thing, that gives a description about the channel and what we are about. But yeah, my name's Kavel. I will probably just refer to myself as Cav, or most things will say Cav in it. And yeah, I'm a beginner artist. I love making things. I'm, always trying to go into those creative endeavors and such. And yeah, so this stream, what it is specifically, is an art stream, where every day from Monday through Saturday, I will dedicate an hour, which should start at 7 o'clock. I had a lot of technical difficulties before this. It should start at 7 o'clock. I haven't even tested if my mic is, you could hear my mic right now. But yeah, no, I probably turned the music a bit way too down. But yeah, no, so should be super fun. I'm once again very new to art. I am learning, and specifically I am learning from a website called drawbox.com. I sadly can't put links in my description yet because I'm literally new to YouTube, so we will be getting that, adding that in the future. So yeah, I'm very excited, and another point with this stream is I want other people to join me, not just with art, but making stuff. So when it comes to maybe cooking, exercising, or stuff like that, I want them to put the stream behind, whatever they're doing, and to work on it and have some fun. I want this to be associated with some positive energy, some positive, good stuff behind it, because I think if you dedicate an hour a day to something every day, almost every day a week, not only will it turn from an hour to probably 2 or even 3 hours if you're really lucky, but you'll really become a professional and start to enjoy that. So without further ado, this is going to be the setup. Let's see if everything goes well. Awesome, perfect. Yeah, I'm here over here. Sadly, no face reveal. And this is what the stream will commonly look like. I have a timer in the bottom right. Let's make sure that's updated correctly. There we go. And this is our timer of the day. So no matter what, I will always dedicate at least an hour to the stream. And actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to change that over here from an hour. We're going to do a 15-minute warm-up today. 15-minute warm-up for just art, I'll kind of explain who I am, how I feel about these streams, everything. If there are any technical details, the one person watching will hopefully, or technical issues, the one person watching will hopefully drop something in chat or message me to make sure it isn't too awful. This is the first stream, so nothing's going to be perfect. But yeah, without further ado, let's get started with some art, making sure all of our timers and stuff is set up correctly. And let's get to it. Boom. Is it working? Yep, awesome. Okay, cool stuff. So yeah, I personally like working with literally just normal paper, nothing too crazy. Printer paper, I buy that fancy stuff in some $20 pack for a couple hundred. And then, of course, our fine liner pins. I use 0.5 millimeter. And of course, if you can, go to drawbox.com and get yourself a box of these pins. They're super cheap. This pin itself was like $3. This whole pack was $18. So it's a very, very, very good deal. Voice cracks included. I highly recommend getting these. It is a worthwhile investment, especially you'll learn to love your tools. I should probably get started warming up. The timer's going down. As you go into art, you'll start to really have a fondness for the tools that you use. And I definitely have grown very fond of fine liners. And as you'll see when we go along, I will probably go a bit quiet when I'm making these lines because I need to focus a bit. And I don't expect these streams to be as talkative as, much jibber jabber as there is now. But with that being said, today is the first stream. I will be talking about myself a tiny bit, my goals for the stream, and some of my techniques as I go along the way. I'll be critiquing myself positively, trying to see where I can improve. I'll also try to keep the paper in camera. That's going to be a bit difficult. I like pulling the paper closer to me, and in fact, I can pull my little camera rig a tiny bit closer to me. But yeah, so I have personally been drawing for about 5 to 6 months now, and nothing too crazy with it. I've mainly been just doing Drawbox and the 50% rule, which I'll talk about in a tiny bit. But yeah, so Drawbox, I love it because it's free, and it is very positive in how they encourage people to start drawing. It's one of those things where you make a small dedication every day, and it slowly flourishes into a new skill. The 50% rule, for those who don't know or haven't used Drawbox, is 50% of the time you spend working, doing things for the class, you spend 50% of that time making things that you enjoy with art. No references, nothing from the lessons, unless it's like techniques, right? Because ghosting or just proper technique. And yeah, I typically like making constructions a lot. My main goal for art is anatomy. I really love anatomy, character design, or like weapons design, stuff like that. Very cool stuff. I love world building. And so I want to really upgrade my observational skills with Drawbox. And I've already learned one of the main lessons of the importance of, fine line making. Having good, straight, confident lines. And I'm kind of glad because tonight I'm making some better lines than the other night. When I was testing this stream, I wasn't doing too well. There will be some there's always, the worst days, when you're like, you're not at your best for some odd reason, not 100%. But today I feel pretty good. Oh, yeah, wonderful line. And of course, if anyone pops in chat, wants to talk about art or anything related, even though that is a distraction, it is very much encouraged. Because at the end of the day, this channel was not created for me to get billions and cajillions of dollars and make my art known throughout the world. It was to encourage at least one more person to do something productive with their time. And productivity takes many forms too. It isn't just making things. I'm an addict for making things. I love making stuff. It's so fun. But it can look like literally sitting down to read a book, spending an hour to make some tea. Something that revitalizes yourself, is good for yourself, and could hone some particular skill. One thing that you'll begin to learn as you start pursuing a skill is how slow the process is. And drawing is definitely one of those. But with that, if you improve 1% every day, you're going to see such a large increase. I need to focus up a bit. Such a large increase over time. And so that's what I plan to do with this, this course and drawing in general. All of these streams won't necessarily be Drawbox. Some will be an anatomy book. In fact, oh goodness gracious. Some will be studies. I have books like these. Let me sure it's actually, okay, I can show this. Wonderful book by Michael Hampton. Figure drawing. It's an introduction. I'm not sure what pages I can reveal inside of this, but it is a wonderful book, and I really do want to delve into figure drawing. That will be in maybe a couple months. It depends. Right now, I'm currently in lesson 2 of Drawbox, which I am struggling. Textures is not a difficult concept for me, but an arduous one, a time-consuming one. So, with that being said, once I get done with lesson 2, you get into more forms, or like more construction-based stuff, because lesson 2 is also organic forms. Understanding, like amorphous 3D, blah, 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 whatever fancy word you want to tie to it. So yeah, I did some of these planes. We'll switch over to boxes now. Boxes take some more time, but tumbling some boxes in perspective is always a very fun warm-up. One thing I'm trying to do recently is to stop relying on my fingers being on the page and just, hovering over it. And yes, ghosting does look, the process of ghosting, so ghosting out your line before it, does look very strange, but it has immensely helped me in making straighter and finer lines. And while mine aren't perfect, I'm slowly making it a habit. I caught myself the other day coughing, having a bit of a coughing fit, yet I was still making straight lines somehow, so we'll take it. Oh goodness, does that converge? Barely. We'll move it over. Also, one unintended side effect of these streams is I've never been fond of putting my art out into the world, but getting used to public critique, and oh goodness, what is it called? Getting used to public critique and, you know, just putting my art out in the world, something I do need to eventually do, so why not now? So what I'm doing right now is I'm trying to estimate where this line converges with this center one. I'm basically doing a 3-point perspective with each of the closest axes of this box, or closest edges of this box, I should say. And we imagine that these lines go out all the way out to infinity, and at some point all other lines converge at these in some way. Which is also a lesson 2 drawbox concept of not only infinity but near perfect. We're trying to emulate perfect. We aren't trying to be perfect. There's going to be lines that don't connect. There's going to be you know, just whatever that stop in perfect convergence. That definitely happens quite a bit, if not all the time. And it's something that we just have to get used to and embrace in our drawings. That's what makes it human. Right there. And of course, slowly getting the eye for these things is very important, which I'm probably not making any better whenever I do these like little imaginary lines into the distance. Oh goodness, that was not my best. Wow. Just lost my confidence right there. Very wavy line. That was a pretty good estimate. I think that was it. This converges so far, I'm about to not even care. Hey, wonderful. Perfect. First box. That only took about 5 minutes. Let's do a bigger box, and we may spend a tiny bit more time, because I was talking in the beginning, making some boxes. I want this one to... Oh, I did not place that correctly, but I want this one to show me a lot of its top face relative to this. So yeah, I want this one to kind of like be like poking my eye almost. It's going to be very foreshortened. One rule to know about drawing is, or sorry, not drawing, but these cubes in perspective is these lines must at least be 90 degrees separate from each other, and this one is kind of cutting it close, but I'm going to do it anyways. Then you get some weird warped perspective stuff, which I don't know about, but that's the rule. Cool, cool. So yeah, I said I want this like this to be like really close to your eye and everything else really far away, almost like a building. So that means this is going to converge like this a lot. It's going to go in this imaginary line. So we're going to do a bit of a, that's right here. I like that. If you can notice, these 3 lines dictate nothing about the form of the box. You can turn it into a cube or a cereal box as they call it. Just by where it converges. So it's a very powerful tool to understand about boxes. And as you can see, I didn't flip my page and estimate where this is, so these are almost never converging. Nice, nice. Okay, so yeah, this one's going to be a bit tricky. I still want to make it point a bit. I didn't foreshorten it as much as I wanted to. Do this. There we go. I don't want a cube. Actually, yeah, I don't want a cube, so we'll make it super thin. So line it up and then do that. What will this look like? I want to converge that more, so we'll go like this a tiny bit. As you can see, the more lines we add and points we add, constrains our box more. Constrains them. So this constrained 2 of our vanishing points already. So we only get the freedom of this one. And just by nature of the box, we are constrained by this. So this imaginary line right here, this line can land anywhere. So it can go right here, can go right here, can go right here, so long as it converges with this at some point. And since I wanted to be super skinny, I can only work in like this range, because if it goes any further out here, it'll never converge or, you know, intersect this line. Oh goodness, what was that? Nice. Need to move my shoulder a bit more, getting a bit stiff. See, that converges, oof, pretty soon. Yeah, so these are near each other. It's like this little oval right here. So, now, another trick about boxes, don't do this one first. Do the interior one first, because this relies on 3 lines that haven't been drawn. This relies on 2 lines that haven't been drawn. So it makes most sense to draw this one first. And just by estimating it, we'll do a little bit of practice here. I know that this has to convert, this line that's going to be drawn has to converge with this eventually. So that means the dot, oh, did not mean to make that mark, oops. The dot has to be right here-ish, because this one also has to converge. So it's going to end up being right here just by intuition, but now what we can do is we can flip it, make an imaginary line, say that has to meet up there, and look. That's a pretty good guess. Now we'll do the same over here. This meets up almost never, so yeah, this is a pretty good guess as well. In fact, it could probably drop a little bit, but I don't care. Nice. It's looking pretty good so far. Also, I'm trying really not to smear the ink on these pages. This is a very fine paper. I love it a lot. It isn't rough, it doesn't draw a lot of the ink, but a lot of the ink sits on top of the page. It doesn't actually, you know, embed in it, so it's, yeah. It smears very easily. Yapping a lot today, I apologize. Oh, I made that one converge a bit too soon. Well, still looks quite nice. From my very little experience, keep that in mind, people have commented on my boxes. The best ones to them look like the ones that are most converged. Which does make some sense, because highly convergent boxes, you know, one that are very foreshortened, those are usually like the easiest ones to draw, because you're like, oh, it converges right here, I can easily estimate that. But also it just looks better to the eye, can't tell you why. Guess it has more shape to it, more form. Yeah, I don't feel too great about this one. Let's see how this does. Oh wow, yeah, that's very far out there. We need to do this. Now that's good on that end. This one almost never converges, that's the same. So yeah, once it moves further, so this one is a dense, let's say this is an inch, this is an inch and a half away, so this one's gonna have a bit more of an angle than this one, because it's further away and it wants to converge just at the same time this one does. Oh goodness. There we go. Oh, and I'm not sure when the timer went off. I wish it made a noise. Sorry for the drinking ASMR if it picked that up. Where do you learn perspective? Sorry, I did not see chat. So yes, you know what? Sadly, okay. I cannot pull links up yet, but there is a website, and I will write it down for you. It is called, right here. This is the best I could do. Actually, why not put it in chat? I could just do that. Drawabox.com. I highly, highly recommend this website. It is very fun. It is not easy, but I highly recommend it. I can show some work I've done for the class. Right here I have a binder with most of my artwork in it. So the first lesson, you get into perspective about halfway through it. And there's some difficult assignments like tumbling boxes in perspective. This was when I was very new to the idea, very difficult. This one was very fun because you get to use a ruler. You get to practice convergence. This one was one of the more difficult ones for people, but I found it kind of fun, where you have to draw multiple boxes converging in perspective, or just like orbiting it. I think. Oh yeah, and then this one. This one you are allowed to use a ruler, and man, doesn't that look nice. I didn't learn much there, because it's more of a fun assignment, but very fun. And now Pilgrim, also on drawbox.com, there is something called the 250 box challenge. You can study up on perspective as much as you want, but nothing will supplement it better than practice. And so drawing as many boxes as possible, like I am here, for warm-ups and stuff like that, keep drawing. Always, always keep drawing. Keep drawing until your fingers fall off, because that's how you get better. So with that being said, I think it's time to do our first hour of actual assignment. I'm in lesson 2 of Drawbox, as I stated earlier, so we are going to be working on textures and organic forms, but textures. I'm going to actually keep this paper right next to me. I like having my practice paper. Oh wait, let's do some ellipses. What am I doing? Let's do some practice ellipses, warm up, that part of our hands, and then we'll get to that. So a good way to practice ellipses, you do this in lesson 2, is to make one of these boxes and then subdivide it like this. There we go. Let's see. So we have these. We're going to make some cylinders, basically, by drawing a bunch of circles. Or ellipses. I should look up the definition. I consider a circle to be, like, this is going to be pretty awful because I'm freehanding a circle, so I apologize. Like this, like pretty even, like a square throughout the entire thing. And I consider an ellipse, personally. I should probably actually draw it first. To be like this, a very ovular one. So, for those, who haven't taken Drawbox, which I highly recommend, this is called the major axis. And this is called the minor axis. Now, don't let it mess you up. The minor axis is actually the most important, because as you can see here, I changed the size of the minor axis from this one to this one, and it changed the size of the shape. And what's really cool about that is, let's say we have a pipe. So I'm going to draw the major axis first. This is where the pipe is going to be. I'm going to draw the face of the pipe that is closest to us. And as it gets, furthest away from us. And as it gets closer, the degree increases. So it looks like a circle. And once we connect these two, we have a pipe that looks like it's kind of going away in perspective. And that's what's happening here with the boxes as well. If we draw our ellipse, and forgive me, ellipses are not my strong suit, but I'm trying. We draw our ellipses right here and connect them. Look at that. It gets smaller, kind of tapers, Now, I didn't do a wonderful job. As you can see, these lines are supposed to converge, at the imaginary vanishing point down here. But yeah, jibber jabber. Let's draw some more circles. Oh, this lower one was quite nice. The upper one was... Goodness. Look at that. That is improper. Whatever. And then also with your planes, guess what we could do with these? We could draw some more ellipses. Should go some more with my ellipses. Probably use a lot more ellipses in my life. Wonderful. Okay, I'd say this was a proper warm-up. So now it's time to actually do our 1 hour of drawing. I highly recommend that whoever's in the stream, please draw with me, do something with me, have some fun with it. I'm gonna grab something to drink real quick. I am back. Sorry about that. And so yeah, the texture challenge. I actually have something specially set up for this. Here we go. And I just realized chat is not working on my overlay. That's expected. That's probably why I didn't see it. So apologies to people in chat who I did not see your messages initially. I have a little reference set up, and so we are going to pick or if chat recommends one, we could definitely draw that. We have all of these little white spaces right here to fill with fruits. So, or fruits or objects or anything. So I'm going to look on Pinterest real quick. I should have done this before the stream. I apologize. And we're going to look up some ideas for something to put in there. I'm just going to go to Pinterest and look up Drawbox textures ideas, my usual. This is probably the most difficult part of the process for me, is finding a good texture. Kiwi is always a popular one. Still learning head analogy, but yeah. Yeah, no, so the awesome part about Drawbox is these are the fundamentals. So if you want to draw a face, well, guess what you do? You start with a box, and you start making these bisections with it. And then, okay, well, a face is right here. A face kind of goes as the forehead back here. I'm obviously not going to draw a head, but you could draw the form of a head with the fundamentals. And I highly recommend mastering the fundamentals because an artist I look up to, Kim Jung-ji, he says master the fundamentals. He does these awesome perspective drawings. So I highly recommend Drawbox. I'll never stop preaching that. I love it. But yeah, so, oh, whoa. I found an awesome image with a bunch of different fruit inside of it. There's also an onion, but an onion doesn't have that much of a... As you can tell here, we're working with 3D. You know, while there may just be... I did the bell pepper yesterday, I'm not too proud of that one. While there may be these, you know, black and white things, you have these shadows. That's what we're drawing. We're drawing the cast and form shadows of these objects. So, let's look for some more of these texture ideas. I just realized my... reference software is, there we go, okay. Okay, I'm not finding too many ideas here, so what if I click on these fruit? Could do an apple. Feel like that one's a bit boring though. Oh yeah, what is this? What is this fruit? What in the world? Heirloom? Is it an heirloom? What is this? Heirloom. Okay, it looks like... Here. I'm going to take this image, I guess. No. I'm trying to find a good close-up picture of an heirloom. Which is, I'm assuming, what the name is. I have absolutely no idea. Wit and Whistle. Oh, this is a perfect image. Okay. I don't think this is curry, but we'll drop this image in here. Here we are. Perfect. And if you are wondering, I'm using the software over here is PureRef. PureRef is awesome for referencing stuff, and for those doing anatomy, I highly recommend it so you can put some of your studies in there. So yeah, this is, I don't know what it's called. I should probably figure out what it's called because I have to write down the name of it. There, that's perfect. Very awesome looking fruit. Or food? I don't know what this is. Here, I'm gonna do a little research. We need to figure out what this is. I don't know what I'm drawing. This doesn't help. Goodness. If anyone in chat knows what this is, please let me know. I'm now on a national food website. We're so lost. Oh jeez. Come on. Maybe Google knows. Maybe if I just drop this into Google, it knows. Copy image. What is this? Star of David okra? Okra? Okra. This is an okra, I guess. Let me triple check. Yep, this is the inside of an okra. Cool. I feel kind of silly for not knowing that. Oh, it's fine. Awesome. Okay. We're going to be drawing some ochre. So yeah, what I like to do now is we're going to study the ochre a tiny bit, do some practice drawings of that. In the past, I'll just pull up some examples of what these may look like. They will not be pretty, I promise you that. This is the practice I did yesterday, the little warm-up I did. On the back, very messy, but I like just roughly sketching out, you know, what I want to draw, what makes this an ochre. And obviously the three-dimensional form of it is very important. So we're going to start an hour timer, and I don't expect to finish in an hour. I may, who knows. Textures is very difficult for me, so we're still going to try our best here. Okay, I don't know what to put my, there, we'll put it right there. Nice. Okay, we'll set our timer for an hour. Not 10 hours, that's a bit excessive. There we go. Boom, and let's start. Perfect. Okay. So, I'm immediately loving the star shape. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 octagon. We'd love to hear it. It's gonna be weird putting an octagon in here, so I kind of learned my lesson over here. I tried doing this black edge on the bell pepper. It did not turn out too well. I didn't appreciate it or like it, so I may just do the interior of the ochre. Let's see. So yeah, we have 8 pods. So what does an ochre look like? Well, it looks like a box, so I'm just going to draw a box. And these are not going to be fancy boxes. These are going to be barely foreshortened, pretty sloppy line boxes, because I'm just trying to get the idea across of what this is. That converges a bit like this, yeah. Many would argue that this part of the process is when you want to be making fancy boxes, but I'm in an hour crunch here. Okay, so yeah, we have this box, and I'm going to subdivide it as we do with our art typically. The cool thing about this subdivision is we're going to end up with 8 points. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Or 1, 2, 3, 4. Actually, these are our ochre pods. So I'm going to leave this here for a second. I'm just going to make a big old square. Kind of get an idea of... I guess these are the seeds, we should say. And as a reminder for those who weren't here for the intro, possibly, I stream, or I'm going to stream, this is the first stream, every day at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, so that's Illinois, Chicago time. So please feel free to join. We're going to be here for the long run, Monday through Saturday, maybe some Sundays if I'm feeling it, or that schedule may shift around to Tuesday through Sunday. I haven't decided yet. Obviously today is Saturday, so technically I wouldn't be streaming tomorrow, but I am. To celebrate New Year's and all that. And the reason I did not start this stream before New Year's is because I didn't want to be like everybody else who may also start streaming on New Year's. But whether other people start streaming or not, it doesn't matter because we're going to keep streaming. I think the first goal is 365 days. I think that's a pretty good first goal. And just think about that for all of the 2 people in chat, how amazing you will be at something if you just do an hour a day for 365 days. That is absurd how great you will be at that. So, we've drawn our ochre, and I know I keep drawing random things and leaving it. Let's look at just one of the ochre pods right here. It has a strange shape. It has this U, and then it goes up, out a bit like this. And it goes in. Oh, that side's a bit wonky. And then does this taper. So kind of like a weird tooth, I guess? I don't know. And then we're going to have a little seed inside. So we have this sphere. Wonderful. And it looks like there is something right here, kind of. That kind of like lodges it in place. Man, those seeds are very spherical. I like it. Actually, we have a cross-section of one right here. So it's a bit ovular. And it gets a bit dark up here. So... just kind of represent how dark it is. So we just have 8 of these in a circle. As easy as that. So now let's be careful. Recognize that this is going to be a circle. So we'll do a quick ellipse. Wow, that was amazingly possible. Who cares? So we're going to start drawing these. Not a lot of them, because we are on a time crunch. We have to be careful of the little ridges between them as well. So we're going to go in here. Do our U. Go out a tiny bit. Go in. Make our McDonald's sign, I guess. I don't know. Not sponsored. There we go. Do another this. Let's look at these. Some of them have weird, like, kind of abnormalities in their shape, so we'll do that again. Or we'll copy that. Kind of going, you know, all over the place with these. I think the most important part is to have actually a decent circle in the inside of it. I kind of was scared to do a proper circle, but there you go. So yeah, I like that. And then what we'll have on the insides, these little, so we have our stem. I'll just draw it like this. We have our stem going like this through it. And in the center, these actually eventually form this shape inside. And there's these little U's here. Now those aren't 3D forms, but I'm still going to draw them because they help indicate part of the object. Cool. So, and instead of doing this, I'm just going to do an ellipse as a bit of a practice of nice. A bit of a practice of what our shape is going to be. And I pick this one. This one's pretty wide. Right underneath the cactus. This will be where we draw this. So I'm going to draw my major axis. Then draw a minor axis through it. This is typically the hardest one. So I'm going to go like that. It's a bit hard to see from every angle. That's okay. I'm okay with that. Get another sip to drink. I am quite tempted to leave my water bottle open on my table, but I think that's a very bad idea. I'll put it on another table behind me. There we go. Wonderful. Awesome. So, I'm not going to bisect it as much as I did there. So we're going to do a tiny circle inside. That's going to be our, where they're all connected. There we go. Remember, this is not meant to look pretty. We're studying it. And keep in mind, if we rotated this towards us, it would be a circle. Somehow. We're just telling ourselves that. That's the lie of art. Okay. Sorry, I'm observing it a bit. There's also some seeds behind it as well, but I'm not sure how much of that we'll capture, because remember, we're looking at it from this surface, so we're not going to see very deep into these pods. So it seems like there's going to be about 2 pods per each of these. If I was doing pencil, I would definitely just make some circles right here, but I don't want to crowd my drawing up too much. Actually, I might just do that. Just to kind of play. Trying to make these ovals so where they have a, thicker bottom to them and a bit of a pinched top, because they are, getting foreshortened towards some vanishing point. Nice. Oh man, should no whatever. We'll compensate for this one. Yeah, these have a lot of gaps between them compared to the real thing, but I think these are just placeholders. We'll be fine. There we go. So yeah, now we're going to start filling in the area. This is going to look really messy once again, but kind of losing the form. It goes out, in, McDonald's, out, in, out, in. If it works, right? There we go. Again. Ah, geez, whoops. Nice. Okay, so we have our general outline of what it would be. This looks very, oh no, it doesn't look right. But we'll continue. So, we have these tapers inwards. Ah, that's why. The distance here is too much distance. So we'll work to decrease that distance. When we actually draw it. Yeah, same thing here. So I'm trying to think, if we, I'm gonna complete these shapes of it a little bit. Remember, these get more flat, so we move them around. Giving them pointy bottoms, but they have more rounded. Cool. And now we're gonna try to draw those spheres. We have to remember that there's going to be some gaps, so it's going to look more like this, almost. And they're actually drawn. We'll leave this like right here, I guess. I don't know. Yeah. And this part of drawing is intuition. This is what the fundamentals eventually build up. So you can start just saying, oh, this looks like it should go here, and that'd be correct. Ultimately, you have, when drawing, your main tools are your intuition, which you build through experience and practice, and then your line work. So you can know where the proper line should go as much as you want, but it doesn't really matter if you can't put the right line in the right place. So knowing how to control your pen, your line maker, your mark maker, whatever it's called, that's very important. That's why I also like pencils, because you know, this is kind of just like, no matter how you do your line, it can get thinner, but it's typically same size line throughout. But with pencils, you can, oh, so much to do. You can literally carve your own pencil to make specialty marks. So yeah. So texture-wise, oh yeah, I didn't even notice. We have these little lines right here. Kind of go like that. Nope, that didn't. That can actually help us kind of like guide it towards the center, you know? Okay. We do have those little, it'd be showing right here, there's these lines inside. You can't see them over here because it's over the edge. Let's see what else is going on. So we have a lot of these dots. I kind of am scared of dots now because I love dots for like this or this. It could be a very easy way to give something texture. But as you can see here, I messed it up. I didn't use it correctly. You have a fear to use pins on your sketchbook. The fear of a blank page is definitely a real one. I've had that several times with this, and I've obviously messed up. You know, these were my first textures. They're, in my opinion, the worst textures on there. But after a while, you begin to realize that unless it's a piece that you want to show the world and stuff, which it is fair to have some fear of that. Experiment. Feel free to make some incorrect marks. That's why I like having, sorry to attack the camera right there, having these pieces of paper, because if I don't like it, I could just throw it away. And thankfully yet I have not thrown away a single one, because I like keeping it to show, hey, I've made this progress. But yeah, this, I mean, personally, and I know you shouldn't say this about your own art, this is ugly. This is very ugly. But I'm learning and I'm experimenting before I put it on this major page. And then those mistakes, like I pointed out here, these dots didn't work out. And now I know that. Now I know that this is not how you use these dots, and you want to go more this direction with it. But yeah, man, all my personal sketchbooks, pencil. It is so much better, so much easier for me to use pencils. Highly recommend them. And once I get into color, even though I'm a very black and white person, I would love to experiment with that. But hey, I love shadings, and I'm not sure if you were here on the stream, but we will, oh goodness, just knocked over half my library. We will be covering this book sometime in the future. I'm not sure how much I'm allowed to show on stream, and some of it is nudity, so I cannot show it. But with that being said, it will be a fun book to experiment with. Later down the line, though. So, what else is going on inside of these little pods? Do have this, and it's going to create a bit of a line downwards because we're looking at it from the side. It's going to get darker down here, so I'm just going to add a darker cast shadow, and then a couple dots to indicate whatever. There we go. Maybe I go a bit sharper with the shadows on this one, like I did with the corn instead of that. Yeah, I don't know when to use sharp, like these sharper shadows, when to use dots more, when to purely use dots. Yeah. We'll see. We'll experiment. So, this one gets really dark over here. And also I noticed it kind of also does go down, so we'll kind of go like this. Also trust the process, because I've realized the more dark ink that you add to this, sometimes it looks better. Don't know why the human eye prefers these things like this, but it works. No, that was too much. I shouldn't have done that. Well, we'll mark that. And typically be careful whenever you critique yourself, because you could be putting unhelpful comments that are now permanently there, so be pretty confident. In Drawbox, you're not technically supposed to submit work with those kind of self-critiques on it, which does make sense. Because you're no professional, or you could be, but, you know, let the people grading your work put those kind of comments on there, the ones you need. Don't self-deprecate, obviously. All of our art technically does suck at one point, but... "20 minutes down, we've had a pretty good understanding so far. I think we have to kind of master the outside of this. I think part of it, the weirdness of this shape that I put right here, is because we don't have our little star to guide us, our little, you know... Oh goodness, see? There. See, that looks very strange in comparison to the actual shape that we have in front of us. And now I could do a bigger study of that shape, or I could ball. And I think I'm gonna ball, but we'll see. Yeah, it's not too strange now that I've made the entire thing. But yeah, there's definitely some weirdness going on in these corners, huh? What I will do to practice this is I'm gonna do 2 lines. Not exactly square, but I have not the patience to do that. A circle, and I'm just gonna put 8 dots. And I want to observe how these dots behave when I decrease the minor axis. So I rotate it away from me. So we're gonna do this. I just want to experiment and see what's going on. Oh goodness! Oh wow! That was a very strange. Yeah, wow, I don't know what's going on right here. I'm kind of going crazy. So now we're gonna do this. So yeah, this area is a bit tricky for me. Very strange pizza. So if I'm right here, and I'm looking this way, like we are on the camera, why are these, I'm gonna call these pizzas, why are these pizza slices smaller than these? Because wouldn't you expect, oh, I guess because this one isn't necessarily converging. It's not really doing this, it's just tilted away from us. So true convergence would have something like this, where it'd be tapered like that, you know, like a little piece of dough or something, where if you're gonna measure here and here, it's gonna be smaller than this one's gonna be smaller. There, so it's gonna be like this a bit. Gonna have the trapezoidal kind of relationship. So yeah, these would kind of go in to correct that. I'm not going to do chicken scratch. We're going to try to avoid that and be confident with our lines. Technically, I should be doing this. You know, I will. Better habits. So yeah, this one should have been positioned more right here. Okay. So now we just have to, we're kind of getting the geometry more in our head, right? Yeah, I guess let's just focus on the texture a bit. Wonderful. So it's kind of also a choice of which texture we want to use so far, right? I like what I did here. And also, yeah, these like dragon, it looks like a dragon scale. It is actually a, I just realized I never labeled what this is. Oh, pine cone. Pine cone. Yeah, cool. Okay. Wow, that does not look like a pine cone. Yeah, these cast shadows, like these dragon scale or stuff like that, very difficult for me to comprehend. I don't know why. But I like this. I wanna kind of replicate what's going on right there. So I'm gonna create a cleaner version of this. Not much construction. Lots of in your head, so I will do a ellipse, just for the sake of it. We're kind of running out of room here. Give it a pretty... That was way too big. Okay, we'll go over here. Wonderful. Okay, so... I'm gonna imagine my lines in there. Right? I'm gonna have one right here. It's gonna go like this. In fact, I'm gonna draw out the center first. So we're gonna have 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Oh, I'm already doing the gap here. See, I can see that gap forming. This one needs to tilt more that way. So I'm going to try to happy accident that one into place. I just realized, ooh, what are we doing? This does not look the way I intended it. I'm just going to draw little hearts now. You know what? Simplify it, I guess. This just gave me a wonderful idea of how to attack, how to attack this. I'll draw hearts in perspective. I'll simplify the form down to something much more approachable. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Move these in a bit. There we go. Oh, goodness. This is not really going the way I wanted it to. Well, that's more like I wanted it, though. That is we're getting somewhere. Oh, okay. We're gonna employ. I'm gonna try hard here a little bit. We're gonna employ. Didn't want to have to come to this, but we've got no other choice. So we have this circle staring right in front of us. Now what we're gonna do? Our circle's right here, right? We're gonna tilt it like this. So we're going to tilt it up. When we tilt it up, you'll notice the degree shifts. We tilted it up. We're going to tilt it up some more. Look at that. The degree shifted again. Went from big circle to smaller circle to this. So, as it gets away from us, it decreases. You can even see the distance between my fingers doing that. So, awesome. Now we're going to, guess what? Do some hearts in there. So as we can notice, the heart's width stays the same, the height changes. So now we just need to, as easy as that, make sure these have the same width, but different height. I guess. I don't know. Is that the proper way of thinking about it? Ah, no, because they all share the same plane. They're all on this one. They all... Well, we'll keep fighting, because this is a very important thing to master, to get better at. So we'll just keep messing with it for a tiny bit until catch on to something. So I'm going to pretend this one is very flat and away from us. So the one across from it, closest to us, is going to be, whoa, so long. Okay. That means these two... Yeah, these two are going to be almost the same size. They're going to be medium. These are going to be slightly larger than that one. These are going to be slightly smaller. Meh. Technically, these two should be the same size the way we had it rotated, because this is very square. I don't like that. So yeah, we're going to try again. Now the two would be very big inside and tiny outside. Big inside, tiny outside. These two will be slightly less. Still bigger inside, smaller inside. Not sure if that bird's in real life or in the music. Oh, I lost track of what I was doing. This should have been smaller. Well, we'll do it correctly on the other side. I was too busy thinking about the bird to actually watch what I'm doing. Wow, what am I doing? Okay, well. Still. I think we're going somewhere. Perfect. This makes me very happy. It only took guessing on a cylinder. What in the world? I'll take it. Found a better way of muting my mic here. I know it makes that popping noise whenever I mute it manually, so. Hey, I like this. This makes me very happy. We found a way of doing it and perceiving it. Now let's study this a tiny bit. I'm going to get out my study pens. I think this is a special occasion. The very scary and highly technical study pens. I really want to analyze what's going on here. Where's my green? Oh, I think I just poked a hole in my sketch bag. Okay, here we go. Perfect. So, take the red. The smallest one, it's technically this one, but I'd say it's these two. Those are the smallest. As we go around, let's see. The axis, minor axis, does get bigger because it's getting closer to us. The major axis, we'll go blue, obviously gets much, much smaller. And just so I'm not mind tricking myself, I'll pull out a ruler. Not to measure anything empirically, but to just get a scale. A sense of scale, I should say. So, just going to... Yeah, look how much. That's almost by half. So yeah. Perfect. Size does decrease. What else can we analyze about this? The rotation's very important. I kind of just always landed in the middle of all of these. It's a bit equidistance from both sides. This was definitely a product of my intuition rather than me critically thinking about this. Yeah. So it typically always lands in the middle. And we kind of formed a circle right there. This one's obviously off by a bit. So why did the other one fail? If we look back on it. This distance. Yeah, look at that. The inner ones clearly have a smaller distance than these outer ones. We have... major axis all over the place. This one's large, this one's small, this one's smaller. Craziness. The smallest ones are towards us, that doesn't make much sense. The tricky thing about drawings like this is they're just right enough to, like, you can't immediately see what's wrong with it. Not saying that this is a beauty. Okay, so we're down to 26 minutes, 25 minutes, so let's get to making some important marks on this page. Very, very scary, but we're going to try our best. So I picked this one, I believe. We're going to heavily reference what we did down here. Goodness, just seeing little hearts everywhere seems so goofy. Move my pencil bag. Get some refreshment. Wonderful. Awesome. So yeah, the tricky part about this is acknowledging where the center is. And I succeeded when I didn't even care. I just started drawing these, right? So the center, say it's right here. For a little dot. We're magically subdivide this with our mind. Like that. Like that. That. Like that. Be very careful of these out here. I just realized I was about to put ovals on there. I realized I don't want to be doing that. I want the actual form of this. Goodness, that's not good. Need to focus up on that. So I know I shouldn't do this 100 times, but we'll just kind of do a practice right here. Let's do it bigger. We'll do it inside here. Not waste any space, right? The circle I'm going to be doing this is going to be smaller than the actual thing, so. That one should have been taller. It's okay. This one, pretty skinny. You're gonna see a lot of the inside of that part. It's 4. Start going over here. This one's also gonna be pretty skinny. One, two, three. Oh yeah, these are a bit similar. They're like clones of each other, but this is much better than before. I have a better understanding of the ellipse. That looks like you're looking down into it, so nice. Yeah, this one should have been moved up a tiny bit. Other than that though, let's tackle it. Oh goodness, oh goodness. Here's the fear of the pins on the sketchbook. Wonderful first shot. I'm gonna have a lot of room in the center, I'm predicting, so we'll try to be consistent, but to also mediate that, right? This one was a bit smaller than I liked, but that's okay. Whoa! I like these two. Whoa. It's okay. We'll manage. Whoa. Okay. Still salvage this. Just realized how small these are compared to the rest. Meh. I mean, what can we do about it at this point? We'll make it work. So I like boxes so much more. Oof. Yeah, this is not making me happy, but we'll make it work, right? Do we dare do an extra? 1 more than 8? I think. I kind of feel like doing it. These are some difficult textures for sure. Because if I could just move that one a tiny bit. Oh my goodness, it's bothering me so much. We'll make it work. Somehow. Okay, so we have our little circles on the inside. Let's look back at this. I really liked how I did the shadows there, so we're going to kind of copy that. We have our front of our... Some of the seeds... Oh, goodness. Probably go in with a lighter pen stroke. That wouldn't kill me. Oh, goodness. Yeah, that one's just a tiny bit off. We'll manage, right? So yeah, that's obviously going to be darker in there. We're going to have some shadow right there along the wall. Oh, jeez. Confident lines is now what we should worry about. It may not look the way we want it to, but I mean, we're learning, so who cares, right? But some confident line work and treating it the way we think it should look. This is the most important part at this point. We'll figure out what to put right there, I promise. We'll do something. Okay, examining the rest of this, we have these lines. Trust the process, I guess. Am I proud of this one so far? No. But I think humbling myself with this is probably better. Okay, wow. Yeah, this is tipsy-turvy. Add some thickness to the edges of these. Single stroke, nice. Oh. Okay. Does have a lot of these dots in there. Let's worry about the center real quick. So yeah, we have these little O's. Okay, oh, creasing that page. Making sure our playlist is all still good, and it looks like it. Yeah, we have so much room on the edges here. I think we just kind of copy what's going. You see this like greener lime part right here? Copy that. That's gonna be a really... Hell, we could almost... Yeah, so I'm gonna... This is our final line. And we're going to add a bit of a... So a little green edge to it. Almost like watermelon rind or something. Ooh, a bit too much. Woof. Slow down there. There we go. Wonderful. Okay. I'm pretty happy with that. That looks pretty nice. Considering what's been going on. Okay. So, now, filling in that gap. Adding the literal texture to it. There's those dots. We have to be careful with these dots. Because we don't want it to end up like our bell pepper. That was kind of gross. We do have 15 minutes left. And now, I'm not worried about not finishing. This time constraint is only here to say, hey, guys, at least dedicate an hour a day to something. So, how are we going to manage this? Does it get darker near the inside if it was tilted? No. But these holes would, so, hole, right? Hole. I'm being very conservative with this. Barely putting my pen to the page. I know I said earlier that it's harder to control, or like there isn't much control, if any at all, on a fine liner of the size of your marks, which is true. Or I should say like a pencil. But you do have control on like dipping ink on there, just barely. Which I will be honest, is highly dependent on your fine liner. Not the brand, but how much you've used it, you know. The, I'm not sure if my camera will focus properly. Will it? Almost? No. Oh yeah, there we go. So see, it isn't flattened, it's a pretty nice quality, or condition, I should say. This, you know, whenever you observe fine liners. You know, if it was squished, if it was something like this, I'd have a lot less control, to put it simply. Awesome stuff. So, where was I? Okay, we're over here. Yeah, let's keep going at it. We're doing a good job. And I hope everyone in chat, who has joined, because we have another viewer, awesome. Hope you guys are also doing something in these last 13 minutes, something fun, something energetic. Or, I wouldn't even call this energetic at this point. Something entertaining, something productive. And yeah, if you guys are doing anything other than art, please let me know, because artists are nerds. I love you all, but we're all nerds. But yeah, for those who have just joined the stream, the objective of this stream isn't just to draw, but to encourage other people to pick up some hobbies, to pick up some healthy stuff. Sitting around watching YouTube, TikTok, Netflix, all that all day, it's not too fun. It gets very boring after a while, so I want to encourage some other people to pick up some fun stuff. Share it around too, because once we start encouraging people to pick up drawing like Drawbox, or exercise, or, you know, cooking, music, especially music, we find ourselves a lot healthier and a lot happier. And oh my gosh, the communities and friends you make, meeting people who are like, I wouldn't say experts, but really good at what they do. They're so energetic. They make you feel so good. Because there's no ego to it. They literally just enjoy what they're doing. There's no facade. There's no game that they're playing. They're not trying to prove to you that they love it, because they do love it. And I'd love to see a community full of people like that. Okay, I am kind of dancing around the idea of filling in the rest of this okra. Or like, you know, going over here, going over here. I feel like I could do maybe a bit more with this. I'm gonna make the bold choice of making this go all the way out here. Ink is permanent, don't forget that, Kav. Oof, goodness. Oh, that was probably a bad choice. Oh, jeez. Yeah, because now it looks like there's something missing right there. Maybe if I kind of angle it. Nah, okay, well, whatever. Gonna keep filling it in. I'm gonna add some dots around here. Thicken up those lines a bit. When doing dots, you have to be careful not to drag your pen. You can probably see a lot of that in here, where these dots become tiny lines, and it is very, weirdly very visible to the human eye. They can tell that something's up there. Huge. Awesome. Okay. Sorry, just checking my messages in on the side there. Probably not a good distraction to have up. Wonderful. Yeah, if you see the scratches on my hands, I apologize. I have 7 cats. Not personally, but 7 cats, so it's bound to happen. And 4 dogs, and a bird. The bird does not attack me, though. It's a very kind bird. The rest do. Okay. Let's keep going on. I'm practicing to buy a tablet a few days ago, so I'm trying to learn how to use it properly. Ooh, that's very fun. Sorry, it fell a few days ago, but yeah, that's very awesome. Or tablet fell a few days ago. Oh, I'm sorry, I misread that. But yeah, that's awesome. I've always been very interested in digital art, and I hope that goes well for you. That sounds very, very engaging and fun. Hopefully you have some good software to go with that too. I've heard artist software could be a bit tricky. I'm, once again, very new to art, so I'm not entirely knowledgeable in that field, but honestly, more may be a bit less with here. I'm kind of creating this form, I just realized, that I really like. With these like curved edges to it, like curved edge, you know, it's creating... I like it. I really like how that's saving my mistakes so far, because this ochre has... Oof, this has not been successful. It looks like something. It looks like something. But yeah, Pilgrim, I would love to see... I'm so upset my chat on the right is not working. I would love... Oh, okay. Then that's perfectly fine. I would love to hear updates as that goes. Thank you very much, DB Animations. That profile picture does look somewhat familiar. But yeah, yeah, oh man, I accidentally put some ink on my page. But yeah, no, I would love to hear the process of how that drawing tablet goes, because that stuff is always so cool to me. It makes you feel so professional too. Yeah, here we go. Sorry, I run out of words sometimes because the ochre consumes my mind. Oh jeez. Oh man, I messed up so bad with this one. Oh goodness. Whatever. We are improving. Yes. Intuitively, I really want to fill this area in with something. Let's look back at our ochre. I close my reference tab. So yeah, I did these little dots, and it's just kind of white in here, which upsets me because I would want to put a bit of texture in there. Maybe I don't want to overdo it. That's a very easy thing, which I did with my bell pepper. I overdid it. What else can I do? I could have gone with more dots, but I feel like more is definitely less in this situation. As I said, I wanted to copy my pine cone. We'll kind of do that. Yeah. I'm feeling it. Feeling it a bit. We're gonna kind of, oh goodness, what am I doing? I need to stop. Hands down. What are you doing? Okay, there we go. It does not satisfy me, but I feel like I learned some. This little thing I accidentally did, I really like this. I really like breaking it down like this, so I'm gonna continue to do this in the future. I'll try. Yeah, okay. I just left some of my pens open. That's probably not a good idea. Oh goodness. Okay, even when the timer goes off, oh, I do have other things to do tonight, so that probably will be near the end of the stream. But okay, yeah, no, I'm gonna keep touching this up. I feel like more can be done, which is always a very toxic trait to have in art. I really do appreciate tackling art with a fine liner because it helps you learn to live with your mistakes and adapt them. But man, what I would give to have a tablet. I'm punishing myself with ink, so once I get a tablet, I'll kind of be prepared. I've heard a lot about Procreate Dreams. I have no idea what that is, but I've heard that's like an amazing software. So if anyone here has access to it, I'd love to hear about how magical it is, but And again, I'm never going to use it. Or, never. I won't be using it for the foreseeable future. Yeah, the inside is very dark, so let's try to beef up some of the outside. Little by little. Oh, no! Whatever. Yeah, I have to be careful here, and I'm not going to fill anything else inside there because that's a bit crowded. And this above line is making it seem like that's the actual line, but we want to emphasize that one is, so thicken it up a tiny bit. Yeah, it's looking okay. Oh, goodness gracious. Oh, good heavens. Can I fill it in? Wonderful. I should have pushed that corner up a tiny bit. And it's much darker, so we'll make these a bit darker. Balance things out. A little heart-shaped ochre pods. Nice. You know what? We have 4 minutes left. I think that's... I'll touch it up a bit more tomorrow on the next stream, but we will be focusing on our next texture, and I won't be... I'll pick a texture beforehand. I kind of delayed with this one. Yeah. I mean, not the end of the world. I think it looks like something, which is a very good thing. Also, yeah, I could have done forms. That's the thing. So this one, bell pepper has this curve to it. I tried doing that and just blacking it out. Bad idea. Do not do that. Indicate form with actual form, because this just looks weird. I don't like it. So yeah, I'm glad I did this rather than the star shape, but it is whatever. So we'll put our big fat ochre on it, and then I want to doodle some more boxes because I just love doodling boxes. Ochre. Nice. Wonderful. I would say that was a success. All in all, am I proud of it? No. Am I going to hang this up on my fridge? Heck no. But had some fun with it. Okay. I just feel like doodling a tiny bit, so call it a warm down. We'll warm down a bit with some boxes. Some more ellipses too, why not? Kind of chill out at the end of the stream with it. Ooh. No, it's too late for construction. And I promise an hour. And no matter what, it's going to be at least an hour. I will not make an excuse. That timer will have to count down all the way. Unless, like, the fire alarm goes off. Oh, goodness. What was I doing there? Okay. I want this to be almost not converging at all. I want it to be a pretty, like, near isometric box. As I say, making it not... Okay, you know what? That's good enough. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. What was I doing? That's ridiculous. Very nice. That was much more successful. So yeah, we're going to mimic a convergence then here. It's going to go like right here-ish. So I'm going to assume right here. Ooh, I like the beginning to this song. I am looking for new music every time because I feel like the same playlist of like about, I think it's 30 different songs will get boring. But I also am tiptoeing on DMCA, so. I'm a huge music lover. I will try to put cool music on stream. Oh, wow. Okay. Need to get my shoulder into focus up. That was an unacceptable line. Much better. Okay, whatever. I'm just trolling at this point. Okay. Wow, this one converges very, very far. I said I'd do that anyway, so. I'm gonna guess it's right here. Test that with this. Wonderful, I like that a lot. Very nice. So yeah, that converges very far. Somewhere down here, so we're gonna go here is my guess. Yeah. Trying to, you know, like do this a lot less, as I say, doing it. It's a bad habit that I cannot do all the time. And I think just some quick... Not that I want to do this faster, but at some point, you know, you do have to sacrifice your time for... I should say your quality for haste. Very nice. Oh! I did not draw that one correctly, but hey. Oh, timer's up, so let's just turn this quickly into, like, a pillar or something, who knows. It's weird because... Obviously, I have not streamed before, but I feel like streams would be draining. I don't feel too drained right now. I just feel like I did a normal, you know, draw box section, which is wonderful. I've done better ellipses, but that'll suffice. Oh! Don't know what's going on right there. So yeah, my problem with these ellipses is technically the line on the side ellipse should exist right there. The same one should exist right here. But there's also these tangent lines, so I don't know what it wants from me, you know? Who knows? It's messy, it's chaos, but that is art. Awesome! Okay. So, first day of our little Drawbox sessions, and art sessions in general. We did some weird looking craziness warm-ups and studies over here, but I think it turned into a semi-successful okra. Semi-successful. Emphasis. But with that being said, that was very fun. So just to go over for everyone here how these streams are going to work out is do something other than just art if you need to, but do something productive, have fun with it. You have an hour now each day. Jump in the stream with me. We will have some fun. It is at 7. I did not start at 7 today because of a lot of technical issues. Thank you to my friend. I'm not sure if he wants to be named for helping me solve that. But yeah, very fun stuff. So yeah, 7 p.m. I'm debating between Monday through Saturday and Tuesday through Sunday. I don't know, because I'm not sure if I want to kick off Monday with a stream. And Sundays I do have a lot of time because it is the weekend. So we'll see on that. But with that being said, I don't know how to end the stream properly. But yeah, with that being said, thank you all for tuning in. Please, if you're not, subscribe so you know when I'm streaming. Join me every day. We're going to have lots of fun. This is going to be great. Other than that, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Thank you very much. No, I don't have an end screen. Well, oh, look, chat. Nice. Okay, well, goodbye, everybody.